And here we go on our Tuesday edition of the Orange and Brown Talk podcast, the Hey MK edition. The first one this week, we decided to not bring one to you on Monday. A lot of schedules kind of wonky. So here we are back getting your week started on the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. Mary Kay, let's start here. Carloso from Plymouth, Massachusetts has a draft and a quarterback question. So very timely considering the combine is next week. And we're really going to be digging into draft season here. So Carloso says, hey, Mary Kay, how do you think Baker Mayfield would respond in terms of attitude and approach if the Browns were to draft a quarterback in the first round? Would he believe that the writing was on the wall, that he would not be re-signed after this year?
Well, I first of all think that he would see that the writing is on the wall. But if he is the true professional that we all know him to be, I think he would respond in the same way that Jimmy Garoppolo did with the San Francisco 49ers, because the same thing happened to him this year. And he still took his football team deep into the playoffs. Okay. And that's how you have to approach it. Because had Jimmy Garoppolo continued on into the playoffs, there's a chance that he could have staved off Trey Lance for another year. Trey Lance, of course, being the rookie quarterback that the 49ers traded up to get at number 3 overall. Now, Jimmy, of course, probably wasn't overly thrilled about that, but for the most part, he put his head down, he went to work, he got the job done, he had a winning season, and he took the 49ers to the playoffs and actually put some good numbers up along the way. So, whether or not he remains with the 49ers, we don't know that yet, but he did all of the right things. And that's exactly what I would expect Baker Mayfield to do, to say, you can draft whoever you want, you can sign whoever you want, but this is my job. Nobody's going to take it away from me. And I'm going to show you this year who I am.
Yeah, well, and the other part of it too is even if he's not the guy here long term and they do go to the next guy, he's got to show other teams that he can be their guy. And I think Jimmy, to an extent, did that this year. He didn't torpedo his trade value. He went out there and he won a bunch of football games like he always does. And so for Baker, it's not even just like, what's it going to mean for him here? It's sort of, okay, I'm going to show you that when the Browns are ready to move on from me, I'm the guy you want to go get. You want to make me your next franchise quarterback.
Absolutely, 100%. And look, Jimmy Garoppolo will probably be starting for some other team next year if he's not starting for the 49ers. And it seems like the writing is on the wall. Basically, they have given him permission to seek a trade. And I know that that sort of thing is in the works right now. So he helped himself. Now, it didn't end beautifully. And I'm sure a lot of people can point to that and say, well, look, that's why, Jimmy isn't someone that can take a team to the Super Bowl, but he came pretty close. To get that deep into the playoffs to the point where you are challenging to play in the Super Bowl, there's something to be said for that. And I think that Jimmy did help himself by his attitude. And look, if Kyle Shanahan was praising him all the way up until the very end, that tells you something about the way he handled it. And he put good tape out there for his next football team. And there is going to be such fierce competition for the starting veteran quarterbacks this offseason that I think that Jimmy will find a home, a good one, and a starting job.
The other part of it too, as far as Baker is concerned, is sometimes you just have to look at it and say, hey, this is the NFL. Like you may not like it. It might upset you a little bit, but like, this is the NFL, buddy. So sometimes you got to deal with stuff.
Yeah, you find out very quickly that it's a business once you're here. And also, it has been Baker Mayfield's MO since he entered college, that he has had to walk onto football teams and prove everybody wrong. And he always seems to come out swinging when his back is against the wall. And I would expect that he would do the same thing in the event that they drafted a guy. Now, if they go out and sign a veteran quarterback, I don't know if he and his camp will remain quiet about that, or if they go out and they trade for a veteran quarterback, especially one that seems to be the obvious starter for 2022. I don't think that's going to be a situation where everybody just sits back and says, oh, hey, this is cool. I think that will ruffle some feathers pretty well. And I think that we'll, hear some sort of response from that if it comes to that. But drafting a guy, especially because this draft is full of developmental quarterbacks, guys that we don't know for sure that can come in and start right away. I don't know if you can point to any one of those guys and say, yes, he's a bona fide starter for 2022. So in that case, I would have to say that, that it is that the time would be right to say, you know what? No, this young man is not going to come in and take my job. I am going to do everything I can to prove that I deserve not only to start this year, but to get an extension. I mean, that's the attitude that I think he would have to take. And he's known for that sort of thing.